Hi there everybody, my name is Voxel, welcome to a new Borrow Talks. I remember in August I did the video about, predicting what the Premiership would be like, but then I also did one about the Champions League in 2017. So I'm doing this again. So both for the Champions League and the Europa League, they are now in the second round of the last 6 teams. Some teams have also finished, so those who are already through for the Champions League and start off, we have Real Madrid, who beat PSG by 5-2. We have Juventus, thanks to Higuain and Dybala. They beat Tottenham. Liverpool thrashed Porto 5-0 at home and then did 0-0. Whilst Manchester City did the same, they won 4-0 and then unluckily lost 2-1 to Basel at home. So these teams are completely through, there's no doubt about it, it's done, but Bayern also have one game in hand in the second leg, but they won the first one 5-0. So I think they are pretty much through as well. And then this is where it gets a bit tricky because there's this big clash between Barcelona and Chelsea. I have this weird feeling that Chelsea are going to be able to beat them. And I was wrong about that. I wanted to upload this last week, but I had problems with my ISP and I was only able to upload now. So this is the part that is very wrong. I need to replace Chelsea with Barcelona for the rest of the video. On the other hand, there is Roma against Shakhtar Donetsk. Roma lost 2-1. But with the players that they have, even if they don't have Salah anymore, I have a feeling that they'll be able to grind even a 1-0 win, even more than that, I don't know. So I think they'll get through as well. So the last team to join the quarters, it's the choice between Man United and Sevilla. I have this feeling in my gut that Sevilla are going to score a late goal and they're going to go through. Now before I say who's going to go to the semis and who's going to go to the final and who will win, just going to talk a bit about the team. So Madrid, Ronaldo isn't what it used to be. He's still a brilliant goal scorer, and then you got all these players like Modric, Kroos, Isco, even people like on the lines like Vasquez and Bale. They can come in and they can do a brilliant job. Juventus, as I said before, they have Higuain, they have Dybala, and their defense is extremely solid. They have also Buffon in goal, so defensively they're good, but the midfield I think is lacking a tad. And then Liverpool, maybe one of the best attacks in this Champions League this year. Salah, Mane and Firmino. Mane's been a bit off this season, but Salah's been on fire and so has Firmino. So hoping that all these players like Milner and Henderson can do their job in the Champions League. The defence doesn't screw up too much, and just in 2 legs, it's not a whole season, they can maybe go through. And then we have Man City. Oh my god, this team, I hate Man City because they're a bit like PSG, use their money to get the club to this level, but my god, you got Aguero, you got De Bruyne, David Silva, I think has a lot of depth in their squad, and even Real Madrid, I think they can beat anyone, absolutely anybody. Following up, there's Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, even if their squad is getting a bit old, they've renewed, and they've got Kimmich, they've got, of course, as a forward, you have Lewandowski, who's insane. So Bayern will maybe go through, but they'll be against Chelsea. Or will they? I don't know, that's just my made-up bracket. And Chelsea, I'm telling you, they have the quality through Willian, they have Hazard. Now that you know my opinions on all the teams, I think regardless of really the bracket, I'd say if, for example, this would happen, which would be crazy, Madrid against Juventus, Madrid would go through. And then Liverpool against Roma, Liverpool would go through. Man City against Sevilla, Man City would go through. And then finally Bayern against, and unfortunately I think Bayern will be able to just go through because they have enough quality to do it. And this is the part where it gets really tricky because out of these 4 teams, Madrid, Liverpool, Man City and Bayern, 2 legs, I think Liverpool are the strongest. That's how they work. In a season they're a bit inconsistent, a bit like Arsenal, my team that I support, but I think they can make it to the final. And then out of the other 3, Madrid, Man City and Bayern, I think Man City just have a little edge over Real Madrid now. I'm not saying that Man City are a better club, but at the moment they are a better team. So if the final is like this, it's Man City against Liverpool, I have this strange feeling that Liverpool would actually win this. Out of all odds, they'll completely win this. And that's my final say on the topic. But now I'm just going to talk about the Europa League before I leave y'all. As it stands in the Europa League right now, there's only been the first legs of the round 16s. I have 3 teams that I think will make it because they won by a big margin against smaller teams. So we have Atletico Madrid, who went through, got Griezmann, you got loads of brilliant players in that squad as well. Then you have Marseille, who thrashed Atalanta, and I think they can make it through as well. And then we have Sporting Lisbon, who beat Victoria Pleasant. Borussia Dortmund will be able to scrape their way through. They did lose 2-1 against RB Salzburg. With all these players like Marco Reus, who's making his comeback right now, he's not injured at the moment, and all these peeps, and even with Michy Batshuayi, who's actually firing pretty well for Borussia Dortmund, they can make it in the quarterfinals. Goddamn sure about it. And whilst both of these teams I don't know them that well, I know a few players from Lazio, and I think that Lazio could have the edge over Dynamo Kiev and get into the quarterfinals. Another one is Lyon, who won 1-0. In my opinion, they have the quality through Nabil Fekir. They also have Memphis Depay and other good players, even Anthony Lopez in goal, who I'd like to come to Arsenal. Next there's RB Leipzig. I don't know if they'll get through. Judging how the first leg went, they probably will. And last but not least, it's Arsenal. They won 2-0 against AC Milan. But I didn't want to say, yeah, this is for sure we're going through, because we're going to the Emirates. We have a good record there at our own stadium. I think they will be able to get through anyway with that 2-0 lead against AC Milan. And without taking into account this sort of bracket that I made up myself, I think the 4 teams to go through will be Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Lyon, and Arsenal. These are the 4 best teams. They're way better than Lazio, Leipzig, Sporting and Marseille, and they'll be able to get through. Even if Marseille have players like Thauvin, and they also have players like Dimitri Payet, I think these squads are just too good, and I'll just get through to the semis pretty easily. But first off, I have to say, as Atletico Madrid are the favourites, they are going to get into the finals. Arsenal is going to be like Lyon, Borussia, and then they're going to play Atletico Madrid in the final. I think Arsenal are going to win this. Against all odds, Arsenal are going to win this. We're going to have a Champions League position, and maybe Wenger will leave the club, which would be good because it'll be on a high and it won't be like, oh god, he went in the Europa League final and he lost. That would be absolutely horrible. So there you go, those are my predictions. Maybe you'll disagree with them, you probably will. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. I'd like to hear your predictions, who you think will maybe win the Champions League or the Europa League, and learn a bit about the players and the other clubs. My name is Wargzal, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!